What if a tiny mistake in your retirement budget could quietly drain your savings by $500,000 over 30 years? Most retirees never see it coming until it's too late. And nearly 60% of new retirees don't take the steps that are needed to keep this from happening. In today's video, I'm sharing how a one-year test drive of our retirement budget exposed some pretty surprising gaps and how you can avoid this quiet mistake for yourself. Most people guess at what they'll spend in their retirement. Some plug numbers into planning tools or spreadsheets, but here's the truth. A retirement plan is only as good as that data that you put into it. And what you expect to spend is half the equation. As head of the tax department at a large corporation for years, I am really familiar with the reality of what can happen when you don't put good data into your spreadsheets. A heck of a lot of stress trying to fix the outcome. So when it came to creating an expense plan for our own retirement, I have been really conscientious about trying to get it right. Kurt and I tracked everything that we spent for 1 year to get a really good base case for our retirement spending. But then when we actually tried living on the budget that we used from this data before fully retiring, we saw some pretty big problems that added up pretty fast. I'd like to share with you a few of our real-life budget surprises. For healthcare, we had estimated that once we both weren't working, it would cost us about $1,500 for healthcare. In reality, it was closer to $2,200. Vehicle maintenance, we way under budgeted. It turned out this year we needed a new water pump in Kurt's truck, which was really costly. And since we both have older vehicles, these type of costs are going to keep coming up. So we bumped our budget up to $500 a month for the year. With respect to home improvements, we really didn't factor in doing more projects once we had the time to do this. So we knocked that budget up to hobbies. I had more time for gardening, which was great, but I spent more money in the process too. And then that was before you even think about inflation, where our mortgage went up, our insurance went up, Netflix raised its rates. While each of these misses seem kind of small, together they added up to a lot. And so we needed to update our retirement plans. According to the Trans-American Center for Retirement Studies, only 24% of people have a written retirement strategy. And of those, only 18% use a calculator or a worksheet or something like that to estimate their expenses. That means that most people are making a huge life decision based purely on guesswork. And when you have sites like Fidelity saying that you might need to spend anywhere from 55% to 80% of your pre-retirement income, that really can be a massive gap on a $5,000 a month budget. If you miss by the difference, that 25% difference between 55% and 80%, that would add up to nearly $500,000 when you project that out for 30 years. If you go back to our budget misses of a little over $1,500 a month, that equates to just under $550,000 when you spread that over 30 years. Without a working budget, it's probably unlikely that we would catch our overspending, because a little here and a little there, it really doesn't seem like that much. And if you don't have a realistic picture of what you need, how would you even know? So let's talk about how to take your own retirement plan for a spin before it's too late and you actually retire. So step number one, you want to create a realistic retirement financial plan. To do this, you can use tools like Fidelity's free retirement planner, or there's other paid versions that require just a small investment like Bolden to do this. Now, you could also use a spreadsheet, but unless you are really, really good at finance and you're really comfortable using spreadsheets, I wouldn't recommend it. There are just way too many assumptions to consider that are all interconnected in what you need to calculate. So if you're new to this as well, and you can possibly afford it, I really do recommend finding the help of a good financial planner. Even though finance was my career, we use one, and I just figure that the more ideas and information and advice that you get, that can only help when you're making big decisions like this for your life. So regardless about how you go about putting together your financial plan, just a note that this is not the time to be optimistic. I plan for lower than expected returns and for costs to just keep going up. Now, step 2 is going to be to build a budget and then to track it. This is where I think it's okay to use a spreadsheet. It works, it's just really tedious and it's time consuming. Another option is to use software like Quick and Simplify to track all your spending. That's what we use. It's quite easy to use, and I know it does save me a ton of time. When you're putting your budget together in the first place, be sure that you include some of those hidden costs like we talked about. When you're thinking about house and car maintenance, think about it for a longer period of time than just 1 year or 1 month. Health expenses, also remember to add in things like your co-pays, your prescription, that type of thing. Hobbies, gifts, family support, make sure you put things in there for that. And then inflation and taxes, of course. And just remember that just because some of these costs may be really low 1 year, it doesn't mean that they always will be. You're always going to be needing to replace tires, or a furnace is going to go out, that type of thing. And you want to have enough money in the budget too to really enjoy this chapter in your life. So put some money in there for the things that are fun for you. And step number 3 is to do your test drive, and then sit down at the end of each month and review what you spent. What went over budget? Is that expense likely to continue? And then go ahead and make the adjustments both in your budget that you're using now, but as well as in your retirement plan while you still have time. Now, if you do these 3 steps that we've talked about, you will end up with more than a better budget. You will build confidence before quitting your paycheck. You will train yourself to live within the budget now. And then you'll also find the gaps while there's still time to fix them. You might ask yourself this question if you hesitate. Would you buy a car without doing a test drive? And if not, ask yourself again, does it make sense to retire without test driving for the lifestyle that you're planning for? And if you take nothing else from this video, just let it be this. The biggest mistake that you can make when you're getting ready to retire is relying on guesswork. Go ahead and test your budget. It'll give you clarity, confidence, and control. And then to help you get started with this, I've put together a free downloadable retirement budget template that I put together from our own budget so that it includes some of the often missed expenses that we've talked about here. You'll find the link for that in the description to the video below. And if you found this video helpful, you also might enjoy watching my video, Living Like You're Retired Now. Thanks for watching.